Sup my dudes, it's Adrian, and welcome all to the year 2021. And yes, I heard the rumors. It is in fact a year that's way better than 2020, 2021 times 4. And now let's be serious, it only is 2 days in. So please, sit the f down every 15-year-old high school girl with a New Year's relationship. With everybody doing a new thing on New Year's, I think it's fine time to do a new thing. So ladies and gentlemen, I give to you Adrian Des, a series where, we talk about games and, hey, who knows, maybe clicked by Adam Sandler. And that's right, nobody can make fun of us. Maybe. So to start this new series, I had two things on my mind, virginity and time. So ladies and gentlemen, get your hands together for... You gotta be f***ing kidding me. Mario, the man, the myth, the legend. I mean, look at this face. Don't tell me this isn't the face of 348 million games sold and a whopping $36 billion. Like, the man really prints cash, guys, I swear. After being in countless adventures of racing, sports, and adventuring, Nintendo had one thing on their mind. Let's f*** up. Back then, Nintendo really didn't know what to do with giving their games to a third party. However, between 1993 and 1994, I think they missed their high school years to experiment. They released Mario in a form of gaming that really isn't enjoyed or highly revered for the horrible things they do to a game series. And don't get me wrong, not all edutainment games are bad. There's Putt Putt, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and Sex Fox. However, not many people say, whew, geez, after a long day of school, I can't wait to sit back and play SAT VR. Oh, it's like I'm really failing. Nintendo had a one-night stance with the company's software toolworks. You know, Star Wars chest, anyone? Huh, now this is Potter's. In 1993, Nintendo let Software Toolworks make some Mario games, and I would consider them two series. One was the early years series, which we already know the song and dance, and there was the What the Hells, Mario's Time Machine, and Mario's Missing. These games are regarded as the worst Mario games. I think it's more of just bitter 4chan redditors getting the game as a kid, thinking it's something more. But really, it's not. Well, I really have no opinion. For these past 15 years and a couple months, I never touched this game until now. So let's see what the hubbub is. The game starts up with a story, and for a story, I gotta say it's more fanfiction than anything, and trust me, I know my fanfiction just to turn over my pillow at night. I can at least say the game starts up with a remix version of Bowser's Castle from Super Mario World, and you know, it's kinda a bop.
If getting money was a sin, I guess I'm going to hell. If getting money was a sin, I guess I'm going to hell. If getting money was a sin, I guess I'm going.
Then after that, it just turns the poop dial to 12. For starters, Bowser must have had a bad case of the Mondays because he decides to build a time machine to steal valuables from the past. Where did he get the time machine, you ask? I don't know, it's like where do babies come from? Better to never know than know. Bowser then uses the earliest version of FaceTime I could think of to contact Mario to basically share his epic dub. Then Mario somehow finds out about how Bowser's plotting his evil in his castle. I mean, hey, who knows, with a game like this, Bowser could have went in time and just, stole dinosaurs to cause just massive destruction. So, warheads, or, worst of all, start a non-profit organization, that son of a bitch. So Bowser's main gist of his master plan is to make a museum. How is this bad? Does Bowser also make a school for the people that are less fortunate and Mario drops a missile on it because, oh god forbid they learn? Anyways, Mario makes his way to the castle, and that's where the game starts up. And hey, when you're finally ready to start your adventure, you can get a fresh taste of... What? The game starts up in Bowser's museum, aka his castle. And there's a lot of historic things, like a constitution, a music sheet, a book, an apple. King Apple. Without picking up one of these historic items, we get a message that says return owner. And hey, at least the game teaches the kids to be modest when returning. You're probably asking yourself, Adrian, how can we return back these items to these places? Well, simple. Whip out that time machine and put in the right things, and it looks like we're going to Philadelphia, a true Pennsylvania staple city. I mean, look, as a Pennsylvanian myself, Philadelphia is a pretty important city. If not, what? All we have is Pittsburgh. And besides it being my favorite team, that's not much, really. So hopping in Mario surfs through time? And that's literal. You're no joke surfing through time. Wasn't that something? You know what I mean? What's next? Mario's gonna shred through the power up dial. After getting all these mushrooms in this section, you have to go down one of these roll pools. And finally, I can't wait to see how they translate Philly into a Super Nintendo. What the fuck? What is this? Literally, I'm not asking for a whole layout of the city, but this is like a Google slideshow for an 8th grade history project. Jeez, this is almost like the time I went to Philadelphia. Oh, hey everybody, it's Adrian, and we're in Philadelphia. Pretty neat, right? Yo. Oh my, I promise. Mario walks up to a bar and asks about this, even though they're obviously not from the same universe. And they basically already know what would happen if they don't get the Constitution. Also, fun fact alert, they know Mario on a first name basis. Because that just makes all the sense. After getting out of that awkward conversation, Software Toolworks decides to pull a fast one at us. You see, at a boring meeting where they're trying to come up with ideas, some of them just pulls out this. So you see guys, all games do these days is just rock kids' brains. That's why I think we should add this to our next game. McGraw-Hill. That is why folks, we have a textbook in this game, which probably made many kids say this to their parents on Christmas morning of 1993. I hate you, Mom. No, that's horrible. What makes anybody go, ooh, gee whiz? I like to watch a Crash Course video, so I play Mario on the Xbox 360. By the way, some of this stuff is just dead wrong and needs to be fact-checked when the HD remake comes out. Better be fixed. Anyways, after sitting through that aneurysm, Mario decides to be quite the chat and deliver the Declaration of Independence to the Independence Hall himself. And would you believe this? They also named Mario on a first-name basis, too. Anyways, after that, they give Mario a pat on the back, and this orb thing gets pressed, and you beat the level. I also like how there's a password screen, implying that people will play this game once more. Like, how many times has anyone ever heard or seen? God, was the day long at the office today. Can't wait to sit back and unwind. But first... yeah, it's gonna be a fun night. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the main gameplay of Mario's Time Machine. Yeah, it is pretty repetitive, and you can also make the same argument that I knew. The traditional Mario games, aside from platformers, they're the same. However, at least in that game, you actually have entertaining stuff. This game, it's just edutainment, which can be fun, like I said earlier, but it really isn't. Oh no, I personally did equate these things to fun, like returning the apple to Isaac Newton, giving music sheets to Beethoven. Gotta bless the rain sound. Okay, not that one, but still. Let's take a small peek at the NES version that, surprisingly, released the same year. Who would have thought? Well, now, you see, one of the things the SNES version had was a bop of a song for the opening, so hopefully the NES version can follow up. Anyways, it starts with Mario and Yoshi pulling up to Bowser's museum. Yoshi decides to go in. Bowser walks out and Bowser, no! This game is for kids! You can't do that! What? Let's just cut back into the SNES version. So we do the same thing. We return an item, go back, return an item, go back. Look at a walkthrough textbook section, return an item, go back. Proud of yourself because this is what your life has come to, reviewing the SNES game. And, oh yeah, return an item, go back. So after sitting through the aneurysm that is Mario's Time Machine, I think it's finally time to see what the ending is and what our final payoff will be. So in my playthrough, Bowser was able to escape to paradise, so you know what that means. Spending your weekend trying to get the good ending. I mean, hanging with friends. Ha! So final verdict on how this game stands. I mean, it's not a bad game. Us teachers felt like this game is so horrible. Seriously, they take a concept just as good as Mario, one of the most beloved platformers in time travel. Who doesn't like time travel? How do you ruin such a simple concept? It is so good, and they just soil it. Like, seriously, on God. Like, they basically get a company that's equivalent to the LA Rams. They try to turn Mario into an educational game, and a bad one at that. Like, how? Then they make an NES version. I didn't talk about the DOS versions, but let me just say they're barely any better than the SNES version. The NES version, at least the SNES version had a good opening. The NES version, it did no good music. I didn't talk about it much, but it's just such a horrible game. are, like, this game's not good. It's not the worst Nintendo game. That's, in my opinion, Paperboy 64. But we're not ready to talk about it yet. If there's a game that can shoot at a school, which will make me a school shooter, it will be Mario's Time Machine. It's that bad. That's why I give it a some sort of size 7 out of 10. Not the worst Nintendo game, but it's not the best. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning into this video. It really means a lot when you make it into the end. And guess what?